Does the Bible really say you should mutilate your body if you struggle with sin? Let's take a look at a Facebook post from one person who seems to read the Bible this way. My favorite part of the Bible is where Jesus tells men struggling with lusting after women to gauge their eyes out. Weird how Christian organizations read that and set up strict dress codes for women to follow so as not to cause men to stumble. But I guess that's to be expected from places that skim the Bible and then set up a profiting institution off it. We use figures of speech all the time, usually without even thinking about it. It should come as no surprise if the Bible does too. One common figure of speech we use is hyperbole or exaggeration. Kind of like saying that we use figures of speech all the time. Unfortunately, many people fail to recognize the obvious examples of exaggeration when they appear, like with this guy. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus is talking about lust. It's an age-old problem that has led to enormous misery for the human race, including broken relationships, domestic violence, even murder. But Jesus is using hyperbolic language to emphasize the seriousness of sin and stress the importance of doing whatever is required to avoid it. He isn't actually saying you should go gouge out your eyes if you're struggling with lust. That should be obvious. As for the rest of this guy's response, it's true that some Christians, both men and women, have put a disproportionate amount of responsibility on females to be modest. Modesty is a biblical principle, but it applies equally to both men and women. It is unfair to expect women to shoulder the burden of being so modest that it preempts the problem of men not being able to keep their eyes where they belong. To put it another way, it's not women's responsibility to fix the problem of lust. It's only their responsibility not to encourage it or facilitate it. And since this guy seems to be as unfamiliar with the Bible as the people he's criticizing, yes, Jesus also condemns hypocrisy.